What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 13 of Jrichfits Lifestyle and Health Coaching Corner. Today's topic is how you allow people to treat you slash how you allow people to act around you. What do I mean by this? I personally feel like two different things happen and that you allow. First one is you taking shit on a day-to-day basis or you earning respect on a day-to-day basis. And that is all based off of you allowing somebody to act a certain way or you allowing somebody to treat you a certain way. You can either lose respect, get shit, or you could stop taking shit and start earning respect. How can you control this? Speaking up is huge. Doesn't take a lot. I think it's very easy. I think it's very awkward. A lot of people don't like to speak up, or they are afraid of confrontation, or they just don't want the other person to judge them or feel a certain way. But I think speaking up is the best thing you can possibly do. I think that it helps so much when it comes to getting the ball rolling. And I think that speaking up could really change life for the better. Everybody always thinks it's the worst. Oh no, I don't want to speak up. I think that maybe if I don't say anything, it'll just kind of roll over. No, you gotta speak up. If you feel like you're being disrespected, or if you feel like somebody's taking advantage of you or shitting on you, you have to speak up because it won't get better. We are all children that form into adults. So if we're children and we get away with something, we'll just keep doing it. When you're an adult and you keep getting away with something, you'll just keep doing it until you finally say something, you put somebody in their place. And it doesn't mean that it has to be this huge blowout argument. It could just be telling somebody like, hey, listen, I don't respect or I don't appreciate how you treat me. Switch it up or get out of here. That's a very easy one. And that's an adult one. We're all fucking adults nowadays. Why would you not be able to just speak up and tell somebody how they feel? Why would you be so afraid? And why would you allow them to just run your life? This is your life. Like I just said right there, you're allowing somebody to run your life. The only person that should run your life is you. So don't allow somebody to scare you into not speaking up. That goes for relationships. That goes for your job. That goes for just being outside, going to the gym, anything. Don't allow somebody to intimidate you to the point where you can't speak up, because there's different ways you can handle them, which goes into the other way I like to handle it. If people are acting like that, the best thing to do is physically intimidate them. I feel like if somebody has a big mouth, or if somebody's acting a certain way, or you're allowing them to treat you a certain way, physical doesn't hurt at all. It doesn't have to be beating somebody up. It could just be showing your will, putting that chest out, getting right in their face and being like, hey, listen, if you want to treat me like this, you can only pay me so much at a job. I can only take so much shit in a relationship. I'm not going to take any shit when I go outside. If you think that that is what's going to stop me from putting my fucking foot in your ass, you're out of your mind. And the cool part is, sometimes it works. I mean, shit, I was at a job one time, and I remember I just said this. It was a heated situation where I felt like they were either going to fire me or I was going to have to quit or something like that. And I just stopped the whole conversation. I said, hey, listen, fellas, I'm not trying to threaten anybody. I'm not trying to beat anybody up. But let's just say this before you make a decision. If you guys fire me, I just have one thing that I want you guys to do if you see me. If we're walking on the same sidewalk in opposite directions towards each other, please just get the fuck on the other sidewalk and walk that way. Because if we walk by each other, I cannot say what is or isn't going to happen. And I'm not going to say I'm going to beat you up or you're going to beat me up, but I will just say you might not wake up the next day feeling too good. So if we're walking in opposite directions on the same sidewalk, get the fuck on the other side. That right there saved me a fucking job. They got so scared that they didn't fire me that day. So sometimes when somebody's being unruly or trying to really swing their weight around, swing that shit back and just let them know, like, hey, you don't control me in all aspects of my life. And if you haven't been to jail a whole bunch of times, that first strike, that'll get you 30 days, and 30 days turns into 15, you'll be all right. And then story time. So here is a huge section where I feel like this sector of people swing their weight and make you feel awkward and you don't speak up and you become a bystander. The fucking homeless. It is, I don't give a fuck. If you're somebody that's an advocate of the homeless and you give them tents and you give them food, good for fucking you. But guess what? I don't play none of that shit. These fuckers, I can't stand them. They're sitting there bullshitting you the whole time. Oh, could I get some money? Could I get this? These motherfuckers got tents bigger than most people's condos or most people's studios and shit. They're living large. I see them with cell phones. I see a fucking homeless dude that got nicer shoes than I had and had a nicer cell phone than me. The fucking Bushman that everybody loved to death. I heard that dude got a fat fucking Maserati. So don't sit here and try to be the righteous. Oh, the homeless, you don't know. These people are the fucking worst when it comes to trying to intimidate, swing their weight around, do all that type of stuff. Story time. I am in my mid-20s. Me and my two friends are walking in the city. And all I can see is in front of us. We're in a huge block. In front of us, all I can see is a whole bunch of people sprinting to the other side, crossing the street, going onto the other sidewalk. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And it's this homeless guy. And that's all he's doing. Screaming as loud as he possibly can, walking towards us. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's doing anything. I'm watching men, women, children. Everybody's running across. And it's me and my two friends. My two friends, they're just like me. They don't give a fuck. But they didn't know what I wanted to do. They were just kind of walking. We're following the same direction. Man, I just kind of took off. So this guy screaming super loud. And I start jogging at him. But I start jogging at him with the craziest look on my face. Not saying nothing. I don't really know what I would have done. I feel like I would try to intimidate him to get him to swing and then just fucking knock his ass out. Because I don't like when people try to intimidate like kids and women and children. And so he's screaming, doing all that shit. Sprint right at him. He goes, up. And he crossed the street just like everybody else crossed the fucking street. Because guess what? He had this type of intimidation that was going, and he was feeding off of that when it comes to kids and women and pussy husbands. I had this type of energy where I'm not playing. His is all games. I'm running at him thinking, hey, I'm going to knock you the fuck out. He woke up like that. And when he woke up, he turned a regular human being, went right across the street. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. Is people act only the way that you allow them to act. If a homeless guy's sitting there blah, 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 and feeding off of your fear, he'll just keep doing that until it takes one person to pull his card. Then when his card gets pulled, he snaps back into it because preservation is big. You see these homeless, they look like shit. Nah, they still want to live though. They still want that crack hit. They still want to get that 7-Eleven donut. So yeah, don't allow people to act a certain way. If you feel like they're out of line, say something, do something. There's too many bystanders nowadays, and there's too many people watching, there's too many people pulling out their phones, and less people doing. And I'm somebody that has never been a bystander. I always am proactive, especially when I see bullshit. And if you see bullshit like that, and man, woman, if you feel like you got it, run up on them. Don't let people fucking try to intimidate you or scare you. Most common place you allow people to treat you / act up. Work is number one. The reason why work is number one is because these jobs like to make sure that all of the money that you make is through them. Because when money is made just through one source, that source can control you. And they can make you do whatever you want. Oh, you don't want to work Christmas Eve? Too bad, you're working because guess what? I control your shit. Oh, you don't want to work New Year's Day? Too bad, you're going to work that shit. So really focus on that. Is at your job, they try to intimidate you on the daily basis. That's all they're trying to do is intimidate through money, intimidate through promotion, intimidate through fucking demotion, all that type of stuff. But then also the people at your work, there are a lot of lazy fucking people out there that want to push their shit onto you and make your work harder. If they're a higher up, if they're an equal, whatever the fuck, depending on what type of person you are. Like I said, people act based off of the type of person that you are. So if you are that bend over backwards, I'll do your work type of person, you will always be that person until you say something, until you do something, and especially in the workplace. Stick up for yourself, earn what you deserve. If you're working a 40-hour a week job, don't do 60 if you're on salary and they're not paying you for those extra 20, because all that's going to do is take your hourly down. If you're working a 40-hour week and your hourly is 25 and you put 60 in, guess what? That 25 just keeps going down, 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 down. And they don't give a fuck. They're going to give that promotion to whoever, their son or their fucking nephew or some shit. So don't worry about all that. Another place, relationships are huge. Like I said, comfort is all comfort. In relationships, we get extremely comfortable. This is the person that you love, and this is the person that you've been around forever, and you know exactly what makes them happy, what makes them mad, how to fuck with them. So relationships are based off of how you allow your significant other to act or be, or vice versa. And what it takes is you speaking up. Don't be physical in this one. You can be physical in the other ones. In this one, fellas, do not be physical, because if you are physical, guess what? Your ass is in that fucking police car, and she's gonna either A, bail you out or not bail you out, depending on what you end up doing. Ladies, same thing though. Bitch, you want to get real physical too and start acting hella funny? Guess what? They'll put your ass in the back of that shit too. Y'all be swinging way too much nowadays. But relationships are huge. They're always changing. They're always mixing. The new things are happening on the positive and negatives. So that means you have to as well. So as everything changes, you have to change and adapt and grow. You can't just stay the same. Because if you're staying the same in a relationship, more often than not, your relationship won't last long. And that goes predominantly for fellas. I like to give little segments to where I'm helping the opposite sexes. Fellas, tune in. We are creatures of habit. We like 3 restaurants. We like 3 TV shows. We're simple. We're not changing too much. And with that being said, we get very complacent. We're not as creative, all that type of stuff. Women, they're constantly changing. They're constantly excited. They always want to go to a different restaurant. They always want to go to a different place. They always want to travel. So if you're a man in a relationship, more often than not, you're the one that is dimming the fire. You're the one that isn't as adventurous. And when that ends up happening, sorry to tell you, they'll start finding stuff in other sections. So with women, you guys tend to find what the man isn't and find that the most attractive when you start wandering a little bit. Not saying you're doing anything, just saying that that's what you find as the number one. So say you got a man that's good looking, in shape, and vivacious or whatever, but he has no job ambition and he's not really working. Well, guess what? Now on the top of your list of attraction is an motivated, business savvy man. So fellas out there, make sure that you're not the one that women are looking at as treating them a certain way or acting a certain way. Always evolve. Always see what your lady is into or about. Try to be a part of that, and your relationship will go so much better. And then everyday life. I think you walk down the street and you notice that everybody's always got this stern, stupid look on their face, and everybody's so afraid to be vulnerable and open up and smile and all that. And I think you allow what is out there. If people are acting up, if people aren't shaking your hand, if people have a snarky remark under their breath, it's up to you to call them out. If I ever walk up on a man and it's a half soft handshake, I'll make a joke and be like, hey, let's run that one back. I need a little more grip on that. And I need you to look me in the eyes. People wake up when you say that shit. You're also calling out their manhood, so they'll do it again. And they might not like you after they do it, but guess what? They'll remember that, and they'll also be like, oh shit, I gotta make sure my handshake is straight. Same thing with ladies. Sometimes y'all act too cute. Oh, hey, how you doing? I'll bust you out and be like, hey, don't try cute shit over here. I got a girl. Don't worry, I ain't trying to get at you. I'm just introducing myself, so don't try to act too cute or don't try to act too cool. Just be you, whatever you are. But if you're a bitch or you're a piece of shit, then maybe just pretend like to be a nice person. But yeah, I think everyday life we allow people that treat us and we allow them to act a certain way. And I think that we need to be a little more proactive and we need to be a little bit more outwardly spoken when it comes to just stupid people. And now let's go into the different mindsets. I think with everything that I said, there are two mindsets. One, I said before, bystander. Bystanders wish they said it. Bystanders watch. Bystanders film. Bystanders tell the story that they saw. Those four things, if you realize they're behind watching the movie happen, yeah, it's cool watching the movie happen, but at the same time, like, don't you feel a little bit cowardly? Don't you feel a little bit less than what you should be when you're just sitting there watching all this shit happen? You do nothing behind it. Like, would it be weird if I saw a car crash and just stood there and I could have helped the person, but I actually see the guy that helps the person and you're like, oh, great job, dude. And you're like, well, the fuck, you were there before I was. Why didn't you do it? So bystanders are people that I really can't stand because they're not doing anything. You might as well just be a mannequin or you might as well just be a tree because you're not helping anybody. And there's so many more bystanders than there are anything in positive people. So change your mindset. Don't be a bystander. If you see something, do something. Don't just sit around and wait for the next person to do something. And if you notice that you're a bystander, probably the people around you are bystanders too. So it takes one of you guys to kind of speak up. It takes one of you guys to just do something to change it. And yeah, don't be a fucking bystander. That's the stupidest thing you can be. Hey, you know what the opposite of a bystander is? A fucking boss. That's what you should be. If you want to wake up, be a boss. Be a boss. And that doesn't mean you have to be the boss. I'm saying this. I've been on football teams where I just got there and they had these captains set. Just because you're the captain and you have a C on your chest doesn't mean that I don't have that in me and I could lead the same way you could lead. Just because there's a C on your chest, that's supposed to make me fall back? No, sometimes these captains, they're just ass kissers. Or sometimes these managers, they're just ass kissers. And that doesn't make them the real boss or captain. You could let them feel that way. Oh, yeah, you're great. But in all reality, every football team I've ever been on, either I was the captain or if I wasn't, I acted like it because that was just in me. So it's like, hey, fellas, he's folding under pressure. Jump on my fucking back. Let's go. We'll go do this. But that's a boss mentality. And I think that it goes forward when it comes to this topic, where it comes to how you allow people to act around you and how you allow people to treat you. If I'm a boss, no matter what position I'm in or no matter what, shit, I'm the youngest in my family. That don't mean I'm a boss, but everybody in my family has that mindset, so we're not afraid to speak up and do what we want to do. And I think that you should have that mindset in your system. Be a boss. If somebody's fucking up, who the fuck am I? I'm a boss because I control my life. If I feel like you're doing something to affect my life, I'm gonna speak up. I'm gonna say something, and I'm not just gonna allow you to run. Like, how the fuck if each and every individual person is a boss of their own life? How the fuck am I gonna allow you to talk to me a certain way? How the fuck am I gonna allow you to like treat and act funny around me if that's not how I act in the everyday to day? So stop being a fucking bystander. Because bystanders, they ain't doing shit. Be a boss. Be proactive. Because guess what? Make it feel great. When you sit back and you're like, I wish I should have said this. I wish I would have did this. You don't sleep well. Everybody I know that's like that, they toss and turn. They have dreams of them doing it. And they don't sleep well at all. When you say that shit, oh my God, you sleep like a baby born on the first day. You feel amazing. It feels so much better to say and do what you feel like doing instead of thinking and wishing you would have. So stop doing that. Have a boss mentality. Be around people like that. If you need to be around somebody, hang out with me. I'll teach you. It's easy. And don't worry about money. Don't worry about what people think of you. Don't worry about judgment. None of that fucking matters because it's just you. When you are born and when you die, it will just be you. That's it. There's nobody that's gonna go with you. It's just you. So why would I care about what anybody else thinks? Why would I care about how anybody else views me? Or like even me doing these videos, people will say all the time, like, are you afraid to express your opinion and say these things? Fuck no. You know why? Because I enjoy them, because I like them. If you don't like them, you just don't gotta watch. If you don't like them, then just don't pay attention to them at all. But if you do like them, it's probably because I'm saying something you want to say. It's probably because I'm doing something that you want to do. And I promote you to do that. That's why I tell people to leave comments, do all this stuff. But have that boss mentality, have that boss lifestyle. Don't let people talk to you funny, which leads me into another story that I have. I was recently at the gym, and there's a worker that works there. Big fucker. You can tell he's all juiced out, big, muscled up, everything like that. And he works at this gym. It's not like he's just somebody that's there. He works there. So you're supposed to be on your best behavior. This guy constantly is on his worst behavior. He slams the weights. He grunts. He awkwardly stares at women. He mugs men. He doesn't say anything, but he gives people the Terminator chest out, doing all this stuff. And for me, I've been in gyms long enough to where I can give a fuck. Just don't say anything or do anything to me, then we'll be fine. And then we had an altercation in the beginning where I was doing squats and he kept standing behind me with his hands out, but he wouldn't say anything. So I put the weight down and I just got in his face and just said, hey, put your fucking hands down or we have an issue. Then he wakes up. Yeah. Like he was mugging. Then when I said that, puts his hands down. Oh yeah, I just want to know how many sets you had left. And I said, oh yeah, I got 15 sets left now. So I said, you can go on to the next station. And then he had a dip. That was my only interaction. Since then, I've seen multiple people get into arguments with him, multiple people. But it's funny how he picks and chooses. He didn't say anything to me, but he's getting arguments with smaller guys and he would say stuff to them or act a certain way towards them. So I started picking that up. And I said, okay, if we ever get into it again, I'm just going to get on him just because I don't like how he picks and chooses. If you're going to be that way with everybody. Fast forward. Me, my girl, and one of my boys are at a station and we're working out. And he's on one of those rants again. He slams weight and he stares in our direction. There's no way behind us. It's in a space where it's just us. And he stares. And I look right at him, didn't even hesitate. I said, what the fuck are you looking at? I said, hey, listen, don't look over here. I said, look anywhere else, but don't fucking look over here. I was like, and with that slamming weight shit, I was like, you ain't intimidating nobody. So get the fuck on the other side. So he goes, and tried to act funny. Turns around, does the weights again. I go do my set, not even paying attention. Once again, slams the weights, looks right at us. I beeline right at him, right in his face. And I say, hey, what's up? I was like, I told you not to look at us. I was like, I don't understand where this is all coming from. But I was like, but I don't like you and I got a problem with you. Only thing he says is, well, I only stared at you twice. He said, I only stared at you twice. I said, well, motherfucker, that's one time too many. So what's up then? I said, I've had enough of your shit. I said, if you're really about it, let's go outside. Let's figure it out. Like, stare at me outside. Didn't say nothing. Didn't act like shit. And I said it once again. I said, hey, listen, I don't like none of that shit that you're doing. I said, you want to stare at people? You want to slam weights? You want to act intimidating? Well, intimidate me outside. Quiet as a mouse. Cool part was, everybody in the gym saw that. Everybody can't stand his ass. And then this monster persona that he has now is here because he was trying to build this juggernaut that I had to put an end to. So everybody that was intimidated by him now isn't as intimidated because they see that he's scared and they see that even though he's throwing intimidation out there, now he's intimidated by somebody. And I'm not the biggest guy in the gym. I just don't give a fuck. And fuck, he could have beat me up outside. Likely, he wouldn't have beat me up outside because I got a little something. But yeah, I would have murdered him. I was trying to be modest. I said, maybe he'll beat me up. No, in reality, I would have fucked this shit up. And hopefully I wouldn't have got my gym membership revoked. But that's just the little stories. I got a whole bunch of them. But there's just a couple stories right there where you run into incidences where people are allowing somebody to act a certain way, or people are allowing them to treat them a certain way. And all it takes is you to speak up. All it takes is for you to act and not watch. So if you can remember anything out of this whole thing, I mean, we're not done yet, but just remember that don't be somebody that watches. Be somebody that acts. Be somebody that does. Because that's our big issue. Is we sit around and we watch people play sports. We watch people act or sing or even do this, and we wish that we could. Why the fuck can't you? Not saying that you're 40 and you're going to play in the NFL or you're going to sing or do this, but why can't you do something that you didn't think you could do before? I never thought I'd be doing these, but I just woke up one day and was like, well, why can't I do them? I see other people do them, and what the fuck's the difference between that person and me? Nothing. We bleed the same, we breathe the same, we shit the same. So stop watching and start doing when it comes to your life, because it goes by so fast. You blink and it's already over. So don't do that. Why should we all be bosses? If I haven't hit that as a home run already, why should we all be bosses? Because people need to be checked. At the end of the day, we should all be bosses because it'll keep everybody even. It almost works like this. I know gun people are like, oh, I don't like that. But just here's a scenario. If we were in a dark alley and it was 20 to 10 people walking this way or whatever, and some of them were good, some of them were bad, all 10 people had 2 revolvers on each side. The likelihood of anybody saying anything or anybody doing anything is a lot slimmer. If only the bad people have revolvers on each side, the people that are good, that were just walking down the street, are going to be in a lot of trouble. So I think that the reason why I look at being a boss is almost like having guns on the side, and you're going against somebody else that got guns on the side too. It all just depends on who's down the pool. And I think with a boss, they have no fear in checking people because they're confident in themselves, and they don't fear the bullshit. You could see what the bullshit is when somebody's too loud or somebody's too much. They don't have what's coming behind. You always gotta worry about the quiet people. Don't worry about the loud people. The loud people are insecure. The loud people know that I have to be this way, because if not, then they're worried about getting picked on themselves because they don't know how to act. They don't know how to really defend themselves. So when it comes to a mindset you should have, always be a boss, because if you are, there's going to be a line of people that you can check. And then doesn't mean you got to hate them. It almost means the opposite. If I'm saying something to you, that means I'm trying to look out for you. When I said something that I do in the gym, it was mainly I was looking out for everybody else, but it was also like, I hope you know you're about 15 steps from swallowing your teeth. And it was a reality check for him. I mean, at this age and stage, I want to get more reality checks than I want to give ass whoopings. So to finish that off, be a boss and push that, and don't push this bystander fucking PC pussy movement going on where everybody sings Kumbaya and everything's gonna be all right. Hell no, man. There's good people out there, but there's way more bad people out there. So if you think that you're a kumbaya your way all the way to salvation and to Mecca, that shit ain't gonna happen, man. You gotta get your hands dirty. And for me, I'm always somebody that if I see bad people, I'm gonna get my hands dirty. I'm gonna strangle them motherfuckers. So at the end of the day, that's what I want to leave you with. Stop being a fucking bystander. Stop allowing people to say shit to you. Stop allowing people to run your life the way you don't want it to be run, because it's your life, it's not theirs. So fuck all that shit. With that being said, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Have a great one. Be positive. I know I say a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, it's all positive messages behind it. So have a great one. Thank you guys very much. Remember, if you have anybody that needs a little kick, a soft little kick in the ass with a little pat in the back, I'm here for you. That's what I do. I'm trying to get into that avenue of work where I can motivate and help your life. I can help you out fitness wise and kind of mash it all together so you become a better person. And also remember, Jake Shakes is always out there. That's my smoothie health line where it helps you internally, which helps you externally and all that good stuff. So have a great day. Thank you guys very much for listening to me talk all this shit. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.